wonderful learning individuals. It is a pleasure. How are you all doing today? It is so great to have you. Thank you also so much for pressing the play button. I am Johnny, your host with HomeCountry Mathematics. Please feel free to stay to also learn, because mathematics can really be fun. Now, let us learn some math together, shall we? Alright, guys and gals, as usual, it's great to have you. We're continuing on with Unit 8, Section 1-2. The topic is adding and subtracting rational numbers. This is so fun and truly is easy. Okay, I put this together from the last video, and I did a little bit of some additions. As you all know, for the most part, the integer grid or number line grid works with whole numbers, but you can also have decimal values. Just like anything, right? We know that we have decimal values beginning from 0 and in between 0 and 1 for it, as an example. Such as 0.25, which is 1/4, right? Falls in between 0 and 1. And so on, right? Okay. So we can also do the same thing using the number line grid with decimal values. I have this example here, right? Just to show you what is kind of happening under the hood, if you will, when you're doing, like, what's happening here, right? At this point. You may see the problem written in this fashion. Plus a negative 3.5. And adding to it, I wanted to, clarify to all you that are learning along. Again, it's great to have you. Thank you for participating and learning with the channel. That is amazing. I'm showing you what's happening here, and this is what I call imaginary 1. Okay, imaginary 1. So what's actually happening here is a plus 1 being multiplied by the negative. All right? So with that said, I guess I'll quickly throw out this rule. Math rules, because, math does rule. Absolutely does. When you are multiplying a positive value, so a positive times a negative, your answer will always equal a negative. Okay, that's a math rule, right? And again, it doesn't matter if it's a whole number or a decimal value. The sign, it's kind of sort of like the negative has more power, takes more precedence over the plus sign. Okay, so remember this math rule: a negative. Sorry, let me start again. A positive being multiplied by a negative. I guess it could be vice versa. We could, technically speaking, have a negative 1 being multiplied by a positive. It all works the same, right? A negative times a positive will always equal a negative. Okay? Now I'm just going to get rid of that quickly. Just going to erase these. Right, and then I'm going to show the work, right? So here we go. we have 2.5. So what's happening now, under the hood, we have 2.5 subtracting a 3.5. This is simplifying the work. So now you can clearly easily see what's happening, right? Remember, once you have this understanding, like what's happening mathematically, you'll be able to grind out these algebra problems quickly. Right? Every single individual that is learning and watching along, we all support you. And good job and good luck. All right, let me show you what's happening on the integer grid. I've added these half ticks. So these are 1/2. So we have 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and so on. And the same thing with going the other direction, negatively. Negative 0.5, negative 1. Negative 1.5, negative 2, right? And so on. Let's begin here. We're going to start at positive 2.5, okay? Let's see it on the integer grid. So here we go. Between 2 and 3 is 2.5. What we're doing is actually, again, remember, when you have a negative, you're always going left, right? We're going 3.5 jumps. So that's 1 full jump, 2 full jumps, 3 full jumps, and a half jump. Okay? So, beginning here, 1 full jump, 2 full jumps, 3 full jumps, and a half jump. So we actually end up at negative 1.0. Okay, they have the answer as negative 1, which is fine. I mean, depends on the question. The question may ask you, please return your answer to the nearest tenths, or something to that effect, right? This is the tenths place. Tenths place, right? So just because we have both of ours values to the nearest tenths, that's why I'm putting my answer to the nearest tenths as well. Okay? That's my justification. All right, so that is kind of what I wanted to share with you, throw out at you. For the most part, we're going to be working with whole numbers, so you don't have to worry too much. Again, this is just one of those things. You're aware of it, now you know about it, and we can carry on, right? All right. Let me clean this up. I'm going to have to actually use my eraser here a little bit. I had to save earlier, so I can't really undo. All right, go like this. Bear with me. Again, it's great to have you, and yeah, we're going to be working with whole numbers mostly here. All right, let's do this. Okay, hopefully that's good. All right, let's do another problem. Now we're doing whole numbers. This is gonna be fun. All right, so same signs, okay? Same signs. All right, let's do this. Same signs and different signs. I kind of went over this last video, but recall, when you have same signs, this is an imaginary blah, 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 blah. Whoops, that was the wrong one. Imaginary, it's a positive. It's inferred positive. Anytime we write a number or a whole number value down, we know it as a positive value, right? Correct. So therefore, we don't need to write positive. We know that it is positive. Okay, so both are positive, therefore just doing basic, just from learning mathematics as we kind of grew up and started from early school, elementary, whatever you want to call it, we all learned that 3 plus 5 equals 8, right? This is pretty simple math for us all, right? So starting at 3, I go 5 jumps. Again, I'm going 1 full jump, 2 full jumps, 3 full jumps, 4 full jumps, and 5 full jumps. Takes us to 8. Okay? In turn, if I had a negative 3, and if let's say I also had the same thing here, negative 5, right? We would know that we have a positive 1 times a negative 5, which pretty much gets rid of the plus sign, and this is a negative 5. So again, same signs, same concept, guys and gals. It's all direction, right? Here we're going right. Here we're going right. And here we're going left. That's all it is. Okay, let me write the answer down. Okay, so we're going to have a negative 8. It's increasing in value because both signs are the same. I can start at negative 3, go negative 5 full jumps, right? Negative goes left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're at negative 8. Okay, right there. And this is going left. Okay? Perfect. So different signs, obviously, it's going to be, well, different, right? We're kind of subtracting in the sense. Okay, so let's see if I can find an example here. 3 plus a negative 5. All right. And we all know there's an imaginary 1 there. So we're going to end up with 3 subtract 5. Okay. Here's what I want to teach. This is kind of what I've been trying to teach you guys and gals. Now, just ignore the signs, okay? Ignore the positive, ignore the negative, okay? Just for now. Let's look at the actual whole numbers themselves. We can see we have a 3, and we can see we have a 5. We know that mathematically, in a positive sense, that 5 is greater than 3, correct? Yes. So that means we're going to have more jumps, right? Okay, with that logic, take note of this. Because the 5 has more jumps, if we can look at it like that. This is a negative. So you can look at this and go, I have more jumps because 5 is a bigger number than 3. This means that my answer is going to be a negative. Okay? This is kind of what I wanted to teach you guys and gals, right? Be aware of the sign. The sign matters. Again, this sign belongs to the 5. 5 owns that. It takes ownership of that negative. So technically speaking, that negative, the 5 is a negative. Okay? Let's look at it from the number grid. So we'll start at 3. Recall, we're going left because left is negative, right? So 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts us in the negative area, negative 2. Okay? And in turn, it's the same thing with the other one. So let's go negative 3. It's just all direction. Which way are you going, right? That's all it is. Okay, what does that equal, right? So now we can see, look, it's the same concept. We're going to have 5 as a bigger number. If we ignore the signs, same concept. We know that 5 is greater than 3 if they're both positive, right? Just ignoring the signs for now. So 5's going to be more jumps, right? We're going to have 5 jumps. Okay, I can start at, oh, I didn't actually, let me just get rid of all that. Gotta get rid of that. That took us to -2, right? Let me rewrite this. I had to clean that up. -3 plus 5, okay? And then again, there's no because the negative's on this side, I mean, we could put an imaginary 1 there. It's still going to be written the same, okay? All right, so this is unchanged. We're going to begin at -3. Let's do that. We're going to begin here, and we're going 5 positive jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes us to +2. We don't need to write the positive, but you just need to know that our final answer is going to be positive because 5 is a bigger number. It's taking us into, well, across the 0 line, right? If you will. That's why a lot of times in the videos I've been doing for you guys and gals, I've been saying stuff like, we need at least -7 jumps just to get to 0, so that you can understand that if we go 7 subtract 7, we know we're going to end up at 0. Okay? If I go 7 subtract 8, well, with the logic that I'm trying to teach you here is, if you look at the bigger number, you can see the sign is negative, therefore our answer is also going to end up being negative, which is a -1. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that helped you guys and gals a lot. I'm going to go over a bunch more examples for you. Okay? Just, again, it's one of those things. The more you do, the better you're going to get. Right? So stay tuned. It's great to have you. And we're going to be doing more integer values, not so much the decimals. Okay? All right. I am Johnny. We'll see you in the next video, and take care for now.